They're getting desperate because, they describe Jim Caviezel's impassioned plea at the end of the film. They call that desperate. Well, I have something else that I would call desperate for you.
For more than 40 years, I've been honored to be your Indiana Jones. Every moment of this adventure has been made for you, the fans, and it's been one of the greatest joys of my career. Thank you for welcoming the man with the hat into your lives for generations. It's meant the world to me to share Indy with all of you. As always, I'll see you at the movies, unless there are snakes, of course.
Which reminded me of this. So there's an episode of South Park where basically Cartman wants something from Kyle, and Kyle says, "I will give you." I forget what it was, but he's like, "I will, do this favor for you, or I'll give you what you want, Cartman, if you will start being nice." And Cartman fights it for a while, then eventually decides, "Okay, I'm going to try being nice." And so this is what happens. Captain's Log, previously on the Captain's Cast live stream, live every Thursday and Sunday with me, Captain Garrett.
Hi, Kyle. That isn't it, Cartman.
What isn't it?
That's not being nice. That's just putting on a nice sweater.
I don't understand the difference.
I know you don't.
So, this is what I think of these, Harrison Ford coming out there. He's like, oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you liking the man in the hat for so many years, and thank you for coming out to the theater. And it's like, that isn't it, Harrison. What do you mean? Saying nice things after you've destroyed all the characters and ruined all the movies, and because you saw Tom Cruise did it and people liked his movie, that isn't being nice. That isn't honoring your characters. I don't understand the difference. I know you don't. We know you don't. This isn't what it is. Try this headline. The Blue Beetle director completely changes his tune. He asks moviegoers to give Blue Beetle a chance after mocking them over the "Batman's a fascist" line. Well, numerous individuals took exception to the line, including YouTuber Ryan Kinnell, hat tip RK Outpost.
Batman is a fascist. Fuck off with that.
That would be Ryan Kinnell, the angriest man on the internet. He earned that title with good reason. His anger far exceeds that of even the most angry man. Kinnell's criticism would be shared to Twitter by CBM Movie Fan, who wrote, "George Lopez saying Batman is a fascist. This has this MF riled up." The user added, "I need more lines like that from the movie if they're freaking out like this." Soto responded to the tweet from the rando fan with 3 laughing emojis and a Skeletor gif that reads, "Well, my job's done." So you see how this works? They tell us, there is no such thing as woke movies. There's no such thing as woke storytelling. You need to lighten up. What you're seeing is not really there. It's just a line, right? It's just that Batman's it's just a funny applause line. So he replies, "Oh, that's so great. My job is done. I've pissed off fans. I've insulted fans. I've insulted the character they love. My job is done." But no, it's all in our heads, right? There's no actual attempt to troll the fans, to attack the fans. Consider for a moment how watered down and meaningless the word fascist has become. It used to mean a totalitarian movement in which all of society was mobilized for war, and a secret police surveillance state tortured and murdered anyone that disagreed with it. That's what fascism used to mean. What fascism now means is anyone that doesn't put their pronouns in their bio. This should be a horrific word. It should only be used in the most dire circumstances. And the fact that a character is saying it in this movie just shows how far we've fallen. That line is not just some character in a movie with an offhanded remark that's just supposed to be comedic and dismissed. That's like saying, Batman is a genocidal war criminal who murdered millions. They put it in there because that's what they think of Batman. My, how the tables have turned. Now that this movie's shaping up to be a complete disaster, The Flash has gone down in flames. Black Adam has gone down in flames. Shazam 2 has gone down in flames. Indiana Jones 5 and the Dial of Destiny and The Little Mermaid all down in flames. Now in an interview with Movie Maker, Soto is asking fans to give him and the film a chance. First, he attempted to explain the scene. Well, we always wanted to have fun with the way Rudy talks about other superheroes. So to the people who got mad at it, give us a chance. We're just trying to have fun with the characters that we love. See how the gaslighting works here? So despite what Soto is saying now, his initial reaction is more than likely what he truly believes. And he's changed his tune because he's seen box office bomb after box office bomb this year. His job as director might not be safe in James Gunn's new plans for the DC verse. So they are begging, folks. They are begging for forgiveness. They're trotting out Harrison Ford, trotting out, oh no, it's just a line in the movie. It's just a line. And then we have this from Bounding Into Comics. James Mangold derides fans as divisive for not liking his deconstruction of Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. A friend of mine has pointed out that my pronunciation of Dial of Destiny tends to stick in his head, and he doesn't like it too much. Why do I pronounce it that way? Because that's exactly how they are. That's exactly how they talk to all of us. And this article is absolute proof of it. James Mangold is over here. Look at this. He is above all criticism. He is accountable to no one. He bears no responsibility for producing a $300 million failure. He feels he owes nothing to the fans. He owes them nothing. His Dial of Destiny is perfect. It's perfect, don't you know? It is an excellent film. And if you don't like it, you're divisive. That's why I say Dial of Destiny, because their opinion of the film does not match reality. It's garbage. That movie is about a psychopathic, crazy, grave-robbing thief who implicates her godfather for murder, who leaves him to die at the hands of Nazi henchmen, who leaves him to die again at the bottom of the ocean, who leaves him to die almost all the way until finally, in the final act of the film, he begs for death. Then she punches him in the face and drags him back and says, no, you have to live. This film is a trash fire. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, Mangold was asked by Brian Davids, so why does a segment of the audience seem to want these legacy characters to be infallible? I just can't figure out why anyone would want such little drama. Now, this is a beautiful straw man argument, isn't it? Nobody's arguing for that, sir. So that is gaslighting. That is a straw man argument, but it sets up more gaslighting quite magnificently. Well, there's a point where these characters become symbols more than characters, and so there becomes this anxiety that if you examine the humanity of a hero, you somehow weaken them. No one is making that argument. You phony, elitist snob. You entitled, dare I say, man baby, working in a luxury industry. You should be grateful you even had the opportunity to direct this disaster of destiny. In drama, a character starts in one place and ends up in another. Well, that is very astute, sir. You must be really good at this. Mangold said, so if people want to be divisive in the age of social media, they can focus on where a character starts as opposed to where they end. Or they can focus on where they end as opposed to where they start. Mangold says, in reality, for Harrison, who's playing the character, he's tracing an arc, and he's changing through the whole picture. So it all depends on where you're landing and where you're pointing your finger on that timeline. I am pointing my finger, sir, at all of it. All of it. Garbage. Now, notice how they keep making this argument. They keep making this argument that, well, we can't just have the character be the character you knew because that would be boring. Then how is it that Top Gun Maverick was able to do this with the character of Maverick? Kedish wrote on Twitter, to anyone thinking Indiana Jones 5 might be good, let me just point out, 1, Steven Spielberg is not directing. This is Matthew Kadish. Kathleen Kennedy is producing. Harrison Ford is 78 years old. It's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who also wrote Solo, which is a pretty dynamite tweet, I have to say. To which Mangold took exception to the tweet and responded by insulting him. Thanks, Matt. Number 1, keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement. Well, we're very touchy, aren't we, Mr. Mangold? Number 2, never seen a script by John. Nothing against him, just reality. Butterworth and I started from a blank page. Oh, and what a beautiful triumph you wrote, sir. Number 3, 1 to 3 are hugely talented and are at my side. Mangold would continue to deride Kadish and his podcast team, The Salty Nerd. The Salty Nerd tweeted, "We don't have basements, but we do have a kick-ass studio with a Batman statue." That's pretty sweet. The absolute insufferable entitlement of these Hollywood assholes. You serve at our pleasure. You create these films at the pleasure of the customers willing to buy them, and guess what? You're fired. Your film is fired. The film had an abysmal opening weekend, only bringing in $60.3 million domestically. So far, the film has only grossed $102.3 million domestic and $69.5 million internationally. The film is expected to lose the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm more than $250 million. So yes, please, make a thank you video. Yeah, put it in front of your next movie and see how that works. Give me my music back. Yes, James Mangold. Yes, we are the basement dwellers, we are. That's what they call us. There is another name for what we are, sir. Fans. Customers. And we are Legion. So yes, you can call us whatever you will. You can dismiss us. You can ignore us. You can close your ears. I hear no evil, see no evil. I'm going to make my movie. And we will march on. We will continue taking our money to filmmakers that care about our dollars. We will continue denying your films our hard-earned money because it is our money. You are not needed, sir. This is the Iron Age. Films like Sound of Freedom are showing you just exactly what your audiences want. And whether you want to hear it or not, we will be heard. This is not the last defeat. Make your next Indiana boondoggle. Make your new Star Wars trilogy and see what happens. Fill it full of all the woke garbage you want. We will inflict defeat after defeat after defeat. We will not be dissuaded. We will not be deplatformed. We will not be talked out of our sharp and accurate critique of these trash fires. No, sir. We of the Fellowship will never surrender. We will defend our characters. We will defend our franchises. We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them in the fields. We will never surrender. And we, in the words of the young Ripper Eric July, will win. That's what I have to say to you, Mr. Mangold. The mission will continue on the Captain's Cast live stream with me, Captain Garrett, on the Swords and Starships channel live every Thursday and Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it, and I will see you in the chat out there. Make sure to give me a follow on Locals at swordsandstarships.locals.com. It's free to follow and direct message me on Locals, and this will help defend against YouTube censorship and allow me to maintain a direct connection with you. The mission of this channel is to build a fellowship of sci-fi, fantasy, and action-adventure fans who prize freedom of speech and artistic expression above all. And if you choose to support the channel with a paid membership, There will be even more exclusive content in store, and I would certainly be honored to earn your support. Until then, hail to you, hail to the Fellowship, and hail to the Iron Age of entertainment.